The Chovos HaLevavos, page 62, had discussed why did he choose to begin this work with Shar HaYichud, the gate of Yichud. So he says that the root and the fundamental of Judaism, the first gate you must enter to, is understanding who God is. That's Achdus HaBorei. That's the unity of God. And everything is founded on that. He says, where do we see this? Because the first of the Aseret Dibros is Anochi Hashem Elokecho. Right? I am. Lo Yelucha Elohim Acherim Alponi. There's nothing else exists other than myself. That's the first of the Aseret Dibros. You know, it's interesting. The first medrash in the Torah, the Torah begins with Bereshis. So Hashem originally, when he created the world, or the Torah was written, every letter of the alphabet says, create the world with me, with the spirituality lies within me. So the Aleph comes the Aleph. So Hashem says, why do you think that the world should be created with you, with the spirituality lies in the Aleph? He says, because the first day, the Aseret Dibros is Anochi Hashem Elokecho. So it starts with an Aleph. It's a medrash. So Hashem says, but it says Oror. Oror is also with an Aleph. Cursed is this and cursed is that. Therefore, you're not quote. Therefore, because it has a certain negative side to it, and then each one comes, and finally the base is the one, right? Because Baruch Hashem Lo'olam Amin V'Amin. That's what the base represents. Therefore, he chose base to begin the Torah, Bereshis Bara Elokim. So I'm saying the fundamental is Anochi Hashem Elokecho. That was the basis initially for the Aleph to be considered. Hashem chose the Aseret Dibros to begin with Anochi Hashem Elokecho. So evidently that's the first and foremost. That's where it all begins. So that's what the Chovos HaLevavos. So you have to ask a question. So why did Hashem choose the Aleph Anochi? If Aleph is Oror, right? That's the question you could ask now. If Hashem rejected the Aleph because it's Oror, so why did he begin the Aseret Dibros with the Aleph? It's Oror. So what I thought was, I shouldn't say what I thought. I'll be honest. What I'm thinking at this moment, because I didn't think of the question until we discussed it right now. I thought because there's always a flip side. So no Hashem Elokecha. But if not, what is the other side of the equation? It's Oror. It's either me or nothing. Right? Oror is what? Is oblivion. Okay? It's an argument. It's an argument in Chazal. It's an argument in Chazal. No, it's a different medrash. They're different medrash. Okay? And then he says, we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, right? Echad. He says you have to understand the full meaning and the connotation of what Shema Yisrael is from the beginning till the end. And he says you will understand how. He says its words proceed from subject to subject. Hear this? In the first paragraph of the Shema, there's a correlation between the words going from one subject to another to all the 10 principles which are stated in the Aseret Dibros. I asked the question. Let's get back to the original question I asked. If, in fact, when a child begins speaking, the first thing you teach him is Torah Tzivon Lanu Moshe, and then Shema, right? And the order is not the other way. So why? I mean, according to what he's saying, he says, no, the gate, the reason why I'm starting with this is because that's the first gate to enter through. Right? That's the first gate to enter through. It begins with Anochi Hashem Elokecho. So you should teach the child Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So what I always said, what's the reason why? Why do we teach a child Torah Tzivon Lanu? Because the question, who is God? The only way you're able to understand who God is only through the Masorah. If you know Torah Tzivon Lanu Moshe, Moshe Kilas Yaakov, then you understand who God is. But Shema Yisrael, you could say it from today forever. You have no relevance to understanding who God is. Right? You can't internalize and appreciate what that is. Therefore, the first thing you teach first, you have to understand we have a Masorah. After you say we have a Masorah, now you'll be able to understand Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's how we always answered it. But factually, that's in teaching. But in terms of what the fundamental is what is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's how you come You come to Shema Yisrael. It's through Torah Tzivah Lanu. But what is the gate? What gate, when you go through the gate, which gate are you going through? You're going through Achdus Hashem. That's the fundamental. You want to understand what Achdus Hashem is, then it's Torah Tzivah Lanu Moshe. To understand what Achdus know. I mean, you could be. You may get there, but it'll be a weak link. Weak link. He has to have a. Do you believe in God? Yes. Who's God? God is the creator. Unity, but what does it mean? It has no relevance to your life. No. Because see, they know it, but they don't understand it. It's a whole different understanding. There's knowing and understanding. This is, the Torah allows you to understand it. I accept it, fact, we call something emunah pshuta. You have a simple Jew, emunah pshuta. You have Jews during the early part of the 19th century, they would not work on Shabbos, even if they were to brink of starvation. When they didn't know they could daven, that's about it. They put on tefillin every day. That's all they did. They were really ignorant of many things. But they were brought up with it. You die for your Judaism. Never do you violate Shabbos. That's it. That's the way it was. There was a case, interesting story. There was a Jew who lived in the Midwest, came from Lithuania. In the late 1800s, became a very wealthy man. And he was in the building supply business, lumber. Built this is already in the 50s, multi-million-dollar, like a Home Depot in the Midwest. And he looked like a cowboy. Like a cowboy. Leather clothing, and he would have his pickup truck, run around with his pickup truck, go for his different places, and never missed a minyan. Always with tefillin, daven every day, but outside, always kept Shabbos, never violated Shabbos, according to his understanding of what Shabbos was. He didn't know very much. And he had 2 sons. And he asked his sons, and he left them the fortune. He says, I'm asking you of 2 things. Never marry out of the religion, and observe the Shabbos. That's what I'm asking you. Those 2 things. If you do that, then I'll be happy. Okay, that's the story. The man knew nothing. I mean, literally. Never missed a minyan. He would literally do anything for a minyan. That's emunah pshuta. Emunah pshuta. He would die. If it was a question of his Yiddish dying as a Jew, he would die immediately. Give it all away. So what does he know? There's no Torah Tzivah Lanu Moshe over there. Right? Because, well, that's been passed down. That's what I was taught. That's who I am. But over there, that's just, you know it, but you don't understand it. And because he knew it, so when he passed on his kids did not keep the Shabbos. They did not daven. And it turned out, one of the sons, when he died eventually, was known on the QT, he had a non-Jewish wife. Married he never had children from her. That was the end of the story. How did they know? Because he left his, nobody knew he was ever married to her. When they probated the estate, they found out he left his money to his shiksa wife. That's how they knew that he was married to a shiksa. To be continued.